Of Android phones, we know that Nokia was losing its market, but I know that in India we have lots of ardent Nokia followers and fans, and for them there's good news because Nokia has released its new phone. Yes, so the good news is that Nokia is out with its new series of Android phones, and today I have here with me the new one, that is Nokia XL, right here. So starting with the exteriors, well, the most striking feature of this budget phone is the fact that it has a 5-inch screen. Now this is much larger than the other versions, which is Nokia X and X Plus, which have 4-inch screens. Yeah, so from the exteriors of this phone, it's pretty clear that Nokia is targeting the youth market. The finish of the phone is rather plasticky rather than metallic, so I think it would be more for a rough use. Moving on to the other specifications of our Nokia XL, it runs on a Snapdragon 1 GHz processor with 768 MB of RAM. It'll be good to remember that the processor of this phone is dual core in the place of the latest quad core, as well as the internal memory is 4 GB, but it is expandable. All of us, regardless of age and gender, are totally obsessed with selfies these days. Now, talking about the photo capacity of this phone, it has a front as well as a back camera. The back camera comes with 5 megapixel resolution plus a flash, and the front camera is a 2 megapixel camera, but it doesn't have a flash. So yeah, there wouldn't be any dearth for taking selfies with this phone. Now the main attraction of this phone is of course the Android, user interface, but then it's not exactly the, pure Google Android experience that you get from this, because Nokia has really built upon, the open source software that Android is, and it's almost unrecognizable from its Google, affiliation. So more about the operating system. Well, this operating system is called Nokia X 1.0.1, and users say that it is not as clean or smooth as the iOS or the latest Android KitKat system. So instead of the regular Google Maps and Play Music, Nokia XL comes with Hear Maps and Hear Music, and it uses, instead of the Google Cloud, it uses the Microsoft OneDrive cloud service. Catering specifically to the Indian market, which loves dual SIM capabilities, this phone also has dual SIM slots. And one thing I'd like to mention is only in a SIM 1 could you actually activate 3G services, whereas SIM 2 we could use only 2G services. The most common arguments made by Nokia loyalists while they buy a phone are two. Firstly, a Nokia phone doesn't break in a drop or two. And the second one is the fact that its battery life is very good. Now, on those counts, if you open this back cover, you can access the battery as well as the dual SIM slots. And the battery actually performs very well. On a 3G call, we can actually go on till 13 hours without a problem. Now it's time for me to summarize the pros and cons of this phone. Well, the positives of the phone include definitely the price. Now I'll come to that in a bit. Apart from that, the screen size is pretty good, and the fact that Nokia has entered the Android market is also very good. The downsides of this phone include the fact that its processor is only dual core and its RAM is only 768 MB. Apart from that, you won't get the pure Android experience, but then if you are a Nokia loyalist and you're not happy with the Microsoft interface, this is the phone for you. Okay, it's time for me to reveal the price of this handset. It is 11,999 rupees. for the final verdict on Nokia XL. Well, this is a comeback phone for Nokia in the Android market. Now, a 5-inch display phone at 12,000 rupees, I really think this would be a good comeback for Nokia. Wind up this episode of Gadget World. Next episode we'll be back with lots of news on the latest gadgets and technology. Do tune in to Gadget World next episode, and until then, it's me, Josephine, saying goodbye.